Hi there. Welcome to my SalesConf 2021 talk. I am so excited to be at SalesConf. SalesConf is like a dream come true for me because, as you all may know, I'm a big sales fanboy. So my talk is not a technical talk, but it's a philosophical one titled Keep Betting on Sales like the world did on JavaScript, and it paid off. So my name is Kelvin Omereshone. I'm the founder and CEO of the Sailscasts company. And in the Sailscasts company, we are building Sailscasts.com, which is a platform to learn and master sales. We have this big goal of having 10 awesome kick-ass courses of detailed sales concept that will be relevant to you as a sales developer by the end of 2021. I also am the editor and the current writer at blog.sailscasts.com, where we write articles about sales. You can find me on Twitter at Sails Kelvin, and I'm a bookworm. I love reading, so I'm currently reading Getting Real by DHH and Jason Fry. Awesome book. So JavaScript keeps winning. So I heard this statement that JavaScript was the ugly duckling of the web, but as you and I may know, JavaScript is everywhere. It's ubiquitous. It's even outside space. So I want you to think on that as I go through the talk. That JavaScript keeps winning, even though in its early days, it was seen as the ugly duckling of the web. So yes, let's look at a brief history about Sails.js. So I did a little git log that just reversed and got the earliest commit by Mike McNeil for the sales project. And it was way back in January 16th, 2012. And it was really, so the sales wasn't really intended to be what it is today. So the old evolution of it, right? So it was intended to be an app for like a client Mike had. But right now, you could see that it's a framework that we are gathered here to celebrate as a community. So that's a long way. So let's fast forward to the present, right? So 9 years old, Sales is 9 years old, and it's powering big businesses, large and small. Sailscasts.com was made to teach sales, and it's also built with sales. So companies like Postman, PageStack, Microsoft, Amazon, SolarWinds, you could see them all use sales in the world today. So I did a little bit of NPM stats, and as of last month, sales had 93,000 downloads. So being 9 years old and it's still having this much of a download really do say something about the framework. So let's look at another brief history about yours truly and my journey in Node.js and sales. So back in 2015, it was after, so we had this break from school. So I decided to learn PHP to teach myself backend web development. And I really loved the language, and I picked up Laravel really quickly, which is like an MVC framework for PHP. Then in 2017, during this time, I was really using JavaScript on the front end. Then I heard about Node.js, and really resonated with me of like, because I have this philosophy of keeping things simple. So having to be able to write JavaScript in both the backend and the front end was like a no-brainer for me. So I said, I gotta jump on this. But in 2019, I was getting frustrated with Express because from one project to the other, I get to come up with my own convention, my own folder structures, my own routing style, the dependencies to download and whatnot. So it was really confusing. So I was in search for like a framework that have these goodies of Laravel that I really love, but it's simple and very much relatable. And that was when I discovered sales, and I've been helplessly in love since then. And I also, we're building Sailscasts to teach sales out of this love that we have for the sales framework. So you could ask, but why sales, Kelvin? And I would ask you, why not sales? And this is why. So I have this philosophy for choosing a tech. First thing I ask myself when I'm going to choose a tech to use is, why was it made? Like the creator of this tech, what's the purpose? So I looked at Mike McNeil's purpose and the sales company purpose, and it really resonated with me because they wanted to build project. So they wasn't making this technical thing that is all shiny, but sales was made to ship out clients' projects. So it's to build real world Node.js application, real time WebSocket support and all. So it really resonated with me. So I think sales works for that. So if you're a web artisan, like if you're a builder on the web who wants to build Node.js backend or full stack application, then sales should be for you because sales has the functionality. It's simple, like the KISS principle, right? Keep it simple, or keep it simple, stupid. So keep it simple. That is what I love about sales. It's simple. You could pick it up and you can understand it because it's just JavaScript. There are no magic, there are no decorators. Everything works with JavaScript concepts and nuances that we're all familiar with, like objects and prototypes and all that. So it gets out of your way. So sales doesn't have a large learning curve for me. So I picked it up like within days, right? And built a project with it. So it gets out of my way. I like a tech that stays in the background. That doesn't have to be in my face and say, hey, you're using me and you have to adapt to my ways and all. Sales ways are really simple and easily picked up and just get out of my way. It's relatable and it's opinionated. So from Ezra's talk, you get to see how that is an advantage for Paystack, and it's also for me. So I do not want to think about where to put what or not, right? I want to go about building my business logic. So sales gives me a well-tested convention and just allow me to run with it, and I love it for that. And it's JavaScript. Okay, it's JavaScript that we all know. So it's easy to pick up and a lot more things. It has an awesome ORM rather. Um, it makes WebSocket easy because I don't know about you, but WebSocket for me was like rocket science. Until sales really give me this ease to adopting and using WebSocket on the web, and I love it for that. So why you should bet on sales? Because most people on the web were asking, sales dead, sales is outdated. No, none of them are true. So this is why I bet on sales and why you should too. So we are still at V1. Like this fact awe me a lot that we are still at V1, we're kicking ass. Like compared to other frameworks like Laravel for PHP, which are maybe, I don't know, but it's a higher version than sales definitely. Like Fastify, higher versions as well. Even Rails, which influence sales, is really higher version compared to sales. And sales is at V1, but it's still being used by this awesome company and it's making waves. So if you look at the past and where it's been, so uh, sales has really grown. It has grown from where it has been. The bugs, the complaints, mostly of them have actually been fixed. So sales is heading somewhere, and I can't just wait to see what it's going to be like in the next 2, 3, 5 years. So Mike want to keep using sales. You hear in Mike's keynote where he made a comment that if at the very least he wants sales to be around because he's going to use it. So that's it's an assurance for me really that sales is going to be around for a long time and it's not going anywhere. So I keep thinking of what sales will be in version 2, version 3, or version X, and it gets me excited and I want to be part of that change. I want to be part of that future. I want to play a role in really seeing sales get to that point and really being this kick-ass framework I know it is to the rest of the world. It's amazing. And it was made to be effective and not shiny. So sales was made to get work done. So I love it for that. It's not all shiny, bells and bulbs and all, but it is effective. It gets work done like a tool, an effective tool. Sales gets the job done, and it's amazing how it does that. So big businesses are still building on it today. So yesterday, Ezra, the CTO of Paystack, tweeted his talk at SalesConf, and a past employee at PageStack said that I think you guys might be the one company with the largest deployment in Nigeria, maybe Africa. And I really love that kind of comment because it shows that Sails is being used in the wild. And you heard Ezra's stats yesterday of how big their company is and how Sails is really meeting up to their skill. And it's amazing. So this is my advice. I like this quote a lot. Be the change you want to see in the world. So I like being, so if something is lacking, like when I came into the sales community, I found out that content was lacking. Then I created Sailscasts and even made a company on top of it. So the Sailscast company was built solely because to back sales and in terms of content to give back, because sales really changed my life. Really, sales is really a very wonderful part of my career right now as a web developer, and I love it for it. So Sailscast is my way of giving back, of teaching other JavaScript developer of a better way to build and a faster way of showing them the sales way of building web applications. So we are as a community are sales. So Taylor Otwell, I heard this quote from me that open source framework or an open source project is as good or is as strong as its community. So what we want sales to be is in our hands, really. We are the ones that are going to drive sales to its awesome and bright future. So if you have knowledge about sales, you've been using sales for 7 years, 8, you could teach everything you know, really. I have this philosophy also of teaching everything I know. So I teach everything on my blog, I teach everything on other publishers I'm waiting for. And I'd like us as a community to contribute not just code, not just submitting PRs, but also content, because when you teach about sales, you get the word out there. So I get to tweet about sales, like tips, I write about sales, I'm developing courses about sales. And it would be really awesome if we all just have also that same movement in mind and really do this for sales. It's going to be awesome. So you can reach out to me if you want to blog on blog.sailscast.com. We accept anyone who have something to say about sales, and definitely I will be looking forward to your articles and I will publish it. So thank you, and I want to take this time out to say that really SalesConf, like I said, is a dream come true for me, and we all made it possible, and you all rock for that. So thanks.